Welcome to the 2400 Block Podcast.
This is cool.
Yes, it is.
I like this.
Yep.
How are you, John? How you doing, man?
How am I doing? I am doing fine. I am very happy to have my voice back. It took over maybe 4 or 5 days to really get it at full strength. I say today is about maybe 85%.
Oh, that's good. Did you catch a cold or did you?
Yeah, it turns out that I caught a cold from my girlfriend. She was sick like maybe a few days prior, and I caught it like within the 4th or 5th day, and I knew I was going to get it somehow.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you for inviting me on your podcast.
Oh, you're very welcome.
It's always a privilege to be talking to you.
Yeah, and looking at you, man, I know you've been, you've been through a whole lot since the last time that we saw each other on a podcast, man. You care to shed some of that? Share some of that.
Well, I think we've all been through a lot this past year, and definitely, that's life in general. You take the punches, and I guess you roll with it. I guess for me, my situation, I fell off a platform when I was working. I was filming, walking backwards, not knowing there was a 7-foot drop. I look a lot more better than I did a month ago.
Oh, it's amazing how time heals.
So other than that, the journey after that was it was pretty painful. I had a black eye. Right now I don't have the sling or the cast that they put on me. I'm in physical therapy, but I pretty much shattered my radial head. That's what they call it. And then I had to go through surgery. And surgery is one of those kind of things you don't remember what happened. Once they knock you out with the anesthesia, it's just crazy. It's like a blink of an eye. All I remember is being wheeled in the operating room, and it was so funny because it was a Filipino guy. I guess he was trying to distract me. He was just asking me where I'm from, and that's all I remember. And then within a split second, I was in my bedroom and at home. I don't know how I got home. And I was more concerned about like who dressed me, because of course you have to be completely just in a robe. And I was just like, I guess someone dressed me and took me home. But other than that, the anesthesia wasn't, it made me nauseated pretty much for a week. That stuff is strong. Other than that, I'm healing now. It's, I guess when I go through the airport for the rest of my life, I'll definitely have, the security wondering what's in my arm, because I guess it's made out of metal or some kind of titanium or something. But things like this makes you realize how you can take things for granted. Just not being able to tie your shoes or
doing all the basic
do
stuff.
The simple, the simple things. I mean, for me, I am just very grateful that it wasn't worse. You have to look at things that way. I could have broke my neck. I could have broke my back, and it would have been a long-term situation. Ouch, but other than that, I'm glad I knew I was in a free fall and decided to, naturally extend my arm out, and my arm took the brunt of the impact. So it happened in North Carolina, and I just got in my car. I just asked if I can have someone help me in the car, and I was able to. I don't know how I did it. Adrenaline or something got me. It was
Wow.
like almost a 2-hour drive. I was
Oh,
able to
2
get
hours.
from
Oh my goodness.
from North Carolina, Duck, North Carolina, all the way to Centera
Uh-huh.
over here in Virginia Beach, and that was it. It was you know,
You
a little
never
bit of pain and suffering.
you never blacked out, right? When you fell? Like you were totally like
I,
conscious?
you know what? I felt like I wanted to. It was
Mm-hmm.
one of those things you get your you get your breathing knocked out of you.
Uh-huh.
And there was a moment I couldn't breathe. I just thought, maybe, geez, you just get knocked out. And
Yeah.
my ribs were also fractured, so I think that was more painful than my arm because you have all these muscles on your ribs.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just I think the surgery, the nausea. I was on pain meds for a good 2 weeks. I didn't know. They gave me narcotics. I didn't know you're not supposed to take those continuously. I didn't read the bottle. It said
Uh-huh.
take as is. But I mean, I'm glad I took it. It pretty much shut off the pain. But you can get addicted to that kind of medication, from what I've heard. But that stuff is strong. It really knocks out the pain. Uh, but you're supposed to take ibuprofen, and then if you can't bear the pain, that's the last resort.
Yeah.
Is the oxycontin type medication stuff that's pretty addicting. But good thing I didn't get addicted to it because I took it for a week straight continuously. But yeah, you've got to really be aware of your surroundings when you're filming, whether it's with your phone or we live in this digital age where we're just so focused on that screen
Yeah.
that you can literally forget where you're walking, whether you're walking backwards or whatever. You might walk in the middle of the street, you might fall in a ditch, you might fall, you might just end up in the wrong spot because you're just not aware of your surroundings. So whenever you're taking pictures, whether it's selfies, video, just be aware about where you're walking.
Oh man,
And yeah.
I was extremely careful, especially what happened to you. And I know I made mention of it at the time I was filming in the park, and I was going through this, 3-level
Yeah.
structure, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
better not fall. And I just thought of you.
I know. Yeah. I mean, you hear these horror stories of people falling in the Grand Canyon, or
Oh
just
yeah.
people who live in places like California where there's cliffs, and they're just like on vacation, and then they don't know where they went. They're just on the bottom. I hate to say, they're on the bottom of the canyon, and from what I heard, there was one where they found a tripod with a camera on it, but
Uh-huh.
no one was around. But they found out the people who owned the camera and tripod, by playing the video back, they were on the below, like hundreds
Wow.
of feet. They fell. They just weren't aware about what
Uh-huh.
where they were walking. They were just focused on that camera. So lesson learned.
Yeah.
It, just be careful for those. For you guys out there.
Yes.
We all have cameras now. We have these digital cameras. They all, especially our smartphones. So
Yeah, regardless if you have heavy equipment like you would in the past, and then
yeah.
having all this, technology now, which make things a little bit lighter, still be very careful.
Oh yeah. It's as a professional, if you're using your your Steadicam or your
Mm-hmm.
gimbal, just have a spotter behind you. You don't want to fall off a stage, or again fall in a ditch, or
Yeah.
especially if you're elevated. So yeah, I learned my lesson. It was just kind of these things should have, could have. Why did I? I'm like, man, I now I've got to get a replacement elbow, and it's just like. But you have to shift your mindset to telling yourself it could have been worse.
Yeah.
you have to look at things in a positive aspect, and that's life.
Yeah, and through it all, it looks like you didn't even went through anything. From the way I just look at you right now, you look like I just met you yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's this side. I still have a little bit of a black eye. It was really, it's weird. I don't remember landing on my face. I had scratches on my face, but I just had a really bad black eye, and it was funny because you know, I was walking around the hospital and I ran into some friends and they were just like, "What happened to you? Did you get beat up?" And I was like, "No, I just, you know, fell down." But other than that, I'm thankful that I'm recovering. A little bit of twitches in my arm, you know. I've been going through physical therapy to get my movement back in my arm. I think I pushed myself a little bit too hard, trying to make it, forcing it to heal. But I think I better take my time and not force it because I don't want to end up back in the hospital.
Wow, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you there. You got it.
Yeah. So you can't force those kind of things because, especially if you break something, it has to heal. So, yeah, health is wealth. You know, I've, you know, as you get older, you realize that's, again, I think I mentioned on the last podcast, you know, that's all you have is your health these days.
I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
Okay. You know, dealing with this situation, like especially on day one, what was your approach, you know, mentally? Because you know you're just going through this. Like how do you cope with it every day? Even sometimes where you feel you want to do something, but you just can't right now.
Well, psychologically, it can affect you. You can go down the wrong road mentally. You can, because you're just there. You're helpless. You realize, you know, that you know, we're all susceptible to getting hurt, whether it's health wise, internally or physically. Again, I just broke my, you know, my arm, and it completely changed the dynamics of, you know, how I had to get through the day. And then it kind of, you know, it can affect, you know, your career wise. I mean, it was hard to go, you know, I lost a good amount of income just not being able to do some work. And you just realize, man, you just got to be careful these days. But psychologically, again, you've got to change your mindset and just count your blessings and count all the things that you're thankful for on a daily basis, because that will keep your spirit uplifted, because you can easily go into depression. And I've learned that, you know, from the hard way, you know, losing someone. You have to constantly, just how you speak to yourself is so important when things don't go the way they, you know, you expected it to. So yeah, that's how I deal with it. And probably maybe knowing that there's always someone that has it harder than you have on this earth at a current moment. You know, just realize that there's someone who's not as fortunate, not to use them as a comparison to make you feel better. Just remember, you know, there's someone that has it harder. You know, so sometimes your pain is not, it's just a small thing compared to what others are going through in this world today. So just remember that.
True.
Yeah.
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 So even when you're facing that, were you still like trying to keep yourself busy, like maybe just doing a little bit of some editing, light editing? I know may not do a number on your arm, but maybe your wrist.
Yeah, I think it gives you. I've been in the hospital a couple of times, and I've been, you know, I've been in a situation where, you know, my health wasn't was tested. It gives you time to really think about life. I think, you know, especially if you're an introspective type person, you really start to. It gives you time to slow down and stop and think about what's important and what's not. And I think that's a good thing. You know, sometimes, you know, you take advantage of that time where you can't really move. So yeah, I wasn't able to do anything for about a week after I got, you know, my surgery and got hurt. So it gave me time to, you know, to to think about things I need to accomplish, you know, things I need to, you know, people I need to catch up with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just take time to, again, think about life
Yeah.
and, you know, and be ready for that next wave once you recover, and don't forget, you know, don't
That's
forget
good.
about what you were thinking about, you know, once you're feeling good again, you know, you don't forget about, you know, that, you know, when you were in bed, like, okay. So I guess journaling is a good time, is a good thing that I did while I
That's
was
great.
in bed. I was writing things down,
Oh, nice.
like, you know,
Do you like to
goals
share?
or
Do you like to share any of your thoughts here on this podcast episode today? I mean, if it's private,
I should have
hey, I
got my
understand.
notebook. I think my
Yeah.
notebook is, yeah. Well, I don't know. I thought about I did think about a lot of things as far as you know, my family.
Uh huh.
Thought about you know, the things I think I need to accomplish. You know, I think, you know, it's not over yet. You know, we're you know, you and me were probably, you know, we're a little bit past the middle age type thing. You know, there's
Yeah.
more time behind us that's in front of us now. So, you know, I'm thinking of like, what do I need to do? What's that next wave of that journey that I want to pursue in
Yeah.
my life? And I feel like I haven't arrived yet. I just feel like I need to go after it. And I don't know what it is, what that is. I can sense it, but I just know I just want to do something big and meaningful for other people. And not only for myself, but for others too.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what I'm going towards. Now, yeah, you know, there are some negative things that might enter your mind. You gotta kick those out of your brain. You know, like, you know,
Yeah.
did I make the right choices in my life? Did I make the right decisions? You know, at
That's
this
always like a
time.
random thought. Like the moment I wake up, that's always like ringing in my head. I'm alive. I'm
Yeah,
grateful, but you
yeah.
know, still trying to find my purpose because I, and I'm kind of like being hindered with that because I keep like delving into the
Yeah.
past, looking back at my failures or whatever
Mm-hmm.
held me back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right. And we're not. I guess we're not alone. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that think
Oh
that
yeah.
way, and you know, life is so quick. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, man, it's like where did the last 30 years go? It just was a blink of an eye, and then you look at the 30 years. It's like, did I do the right thing? You know, and you start to realize, especially when you get hurt or sick, it's like, man, you're not a spring chicken anymore. You
Yeah.
really, it doesn't take much for you to be disabled. And I'm not being negative. It's just, it makes you realize, you know, I've got you know, less time in front of me. What do I want to do with that? You know, I want
Mm-hmm.
to do something that's going to be you know, that you could be proud of when nature starts calling and you can't do it anymore. Your mind, you know, you see it all the time. Your mind wants to do, but your body can't.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hate to see it. I see it in my parents. It's just like, man, I don't want, you know, when I get to that state, I want to be able to look back and say, at least I did my best, you
Yeah.
know. And I think we all want to pursue that. It's just you know, here life uh life gets in the way sometimes. We get complacent, or we settle for whatever comes our way,
Yeah.
and then we soon realize the years went by, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I should have pursued what I thought I should have pursued what I should have. And you know, my back is hurting. I don't know if I could do it anymore. I better do it now.
Wow. This
Kind of.
is this is
Yeah.
actually the latest
Mhm.
thing that you're facing in life, and you had all these previous chapters
Yeah.
in your life that you can always look back at, and
Yeah.
now
Hmm.
this is the latest one. This is the latest hurdle, the latest challenge. And now we're
Yeah.
we're we're at this point in age now. Now this is like the most important part now in our story is trying to be as healthy as we can as we
It
try to
is.
get
Yeah.
older as we get older.
Exactly. And John, you've experienced losing your brother, and I experienced losing my wife.
Yeah.
It's those moments that you come to realize, that life is really, it could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and I'm not being negative, it's just for me, I think what makes it a little bit difficult is that I filmed and documented everything within my life,
Uh-huh.
my family life. And sometimes you get stuck. Those memories are great to look back onto. You're going to
Yeah.
cherish those memories because, in this digital age, you can play it back and you can relive those moments. But sometimes, for me, it kind of keeps me a little bit stuck in the past, because
Uh-huh.
then I'll play something and I'm like, man, like a little bit down about it, and it's like, man, I wish those days were still here. But I realize, uh, you have to somewhat let the past go a little bit so you can move forward.
Yes.
And really, the only thing you have in your life is one day at a time, and you only have 1 minute at a time. You have to live in the moment, and you can't also kind of worry about the future too, because if
Mm-hmm.
you kind of oversee the future, like what's next year going to look like, what's it hasn't happened. You don't even know if you're going to have that, so you got to
Yep.
live in the moment. So what for me, what I realized when I was disabled, I'll be honest, I'm a media hoarder. I have so much footage of everything. I have to save it and everything, and sometimes, I'll be honest, it doesn't see the day of light. It's just on hard drives, it's on tapes, and I'm thinking there's gonna be that grand moment where, um, it's gonna come out. It's gonna be something I can work on.
Uh-huh.
But then when I realize it, if it doesn't come out immediately, as soon as you can, and share it to the world or share it to your family members, it's never going to see the day of light. And
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I think I'm getting in that mindset, like, how can you document something or film something and immediately figure a way to get it out there in a way that it's digestible and it's fun to share to others
Yeah.
out there. And I'm saying that from a filmmaker standpoint. And with this new thing we live in, this social media type situation we live in, it's just like you got to get it out there as quickly as you can. So I think I'm in that mission to figuring that out. And I'll be honest, editing is not easy. It's just one of those kind of things. Is it's so time consuming on the back end, and how do you deal with that? You know.
Uh-huh.
And now again, there are things you can take time on if they're big projects, like if you're trying to produce something that's needs to be produced and shown as like a movie or something, or a documentary. But I mean, daily life, if you're filming something, how can you share it? Because for me, I'll be honest, it ends up on the hard drive, and even yourself, you forget about it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I completely forgot about this footage of my daughter, being 3 years old, and she never saw that before, and it would have never surfaced if I didn't know it was there. It's just, you just tend to put it away, and it's like lost in
Man,
oblivion.
speaking
Hmm.
of footage, oh man,
Yeah.
this is my biggest regret, Dave. My biggest regret. I got to tell you this, bro.
Uh-huh.
I've captured a lot of footage, like with my friends, or
Yeah.
maybe they were friends at one
Hmm.
point, and then
Hmm.
I had some featuring my younger brother.
Yeah.
But man, I never had that. I never had that much footage of Jason when he was alive, and that is the biggest regret right now that's haunting my head. The memories of him
Yeah.
are always here because I always remember the moment, but
Hmm.
having to document it, having to get footage of him. Oh
Hmm.
man, there was like barely any footage, and I think the only long footage that I have of my brother
Hmm.
was when he graduated from ITT back in 1994. That's the most I got out of him. And I'm trying to comb through all these 12 or 13 VHS videotapes, trying to see
Yeah.
if I captured any more of him. And that's the saddest thing, man. When you when you captured him at his funeral,
Yeah.
everything, all the footage. Oh man, that just hit me, man. I just thought about like this. That's the biggest regret. But I'm glad you were able to capture that moment, that very important moment.
Yeah, I'm thankful that you allowed me to do that.
Oh yeah, you were the only choice.
I just feel like funerals are one of those moments where it is a sad moment, but it's also an opportunity to reflect and celebrate someone's life. It becomes a crisis moment because now you're going back hunting for those fragmented moments of your brother on media. You got to look through your phone, you got to look through VHS tapes, and I remember that was very stressful. And in my mind, I'm like thinking, like, man, I should have had this all organized in the first place, so that when something like this happens, it's easy to put together.
Yeah.
But I think we film in society today, not knowing that we're filming for the future. We're filming. You're filming a moment, but it's not necessarily something, again, you'll necessarily go out and watch immediately when you get home. It's something that will resurface again for the purpose of reflecting on that person. And sadly, and I'll give an example, and I don't know if I share this, the shoemaker's kids don't have shoes. I myself filmed so many weddings and never had a chance to even edit my own wedding video, just because I was so focused on other people's wedding videos. So all I cared is that it was documented. And then it was put to the side in a box and sealed and never looked at. Never looked at it the day after the wedding. It was just one of those things, like, I'll get to it because I'm focused on everyone else's wedding videos. So, fast forward, 20 something years later, I lose my wife, and now those tapes are more important than ever.
Yeah.
And officially, I'm going to attempt to go ahead and finally edit the video after so many years. And the thing is, I'm a recipient of why those memories are so important. And I see why, because I never knew why I was taping, documenting people's special moments like weddings. But now I realize, like, this stuff is worth more than gold. So
yeah,
it's going to be a bittersweet kind of thing to put together.
Let me ask you this, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, of the years that you've known her, did you capture as much footage as possible? Like, from the very beginning of knowing her until the end point, unfortunately.
For me, if there was an opportunity to film, I was filming because I love gadgets. I love cameras. I constantly would test my cameras out on my kids. I put a microphone on them and I interviewed my kids, just practicing using the camera. So I remember my daughter running around the studio, and I would film her just, little. But I would mic her and just ask her these funny questions about, what are you doing and stuff, just to do a test. And, of course, that footage was on tapes, and I just put them in boxes, just never watched them again. I'll check if the sound was good or whatever, but I use my kids as guinea pigs. But I filmed everything from my kids, being born, when they, to their birthdays, to
all these special moments.
Yeah, all the special moments, because I valued those sentimental moments. But again, not knowing that, in my wife being in that footage, that it was something that was going to be very important later on after losing my wife. So really, film and video, it's the most powerful form of documentation. Back in the cave days, people, they used to draw things on the wall to tell stories, but I mean, now we can hit record and capture.
What do they call it? Hieroglyphics? I guess that's what they call it.
Yeah. I mean, that might make it a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
But just to see the mannerisms in our faces when we're younger, to our kids when they're younger, it's just, those memories are just so vivid by just pushing play and replaying it. Now, it does hurt if the person is gone, because it's a reminder of someone that you used to have.
Yeah.
But I think in time, uh, it heals to watch the footage,
Yeah.
depending on, what stage you are. I'm sure watching your brother on video, it's kind of healing at some point in time, but it's also hurt. It hurts too, because it's a
Yeah.
reminder of that loss, Yeah. So, yeah.
I even let some of my friends watch that, and like they don't
Mhm.
really know him, but they can really feel the
Yeah.
weight of emotion just through the work that you do, Dave. The music,
Oh,
the
really?
way you captured it in sequence,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, it's just mind blowing, man.
Yeah. Because it's real. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
it's an, I see it as an art form too.
Yeah.
How you capture the, if you could see the white in people's eyes as you're filming, you're at a good angle, I guess. That's how I see it. So I love capturing facial expressions and close-ups and
I noticed. Yeah.
expression on people's faces, and also how the camera moves gives a feeling,
Yeah.
to that moment,
I just love the multi-angular, the multi-angles. There you go, the multi-angles.
Not only the multi-angles, there's another layer to it too. I think audio is very powerful because
Yeah.
audio is dialogue, and dialogue is I mean, you can really feel someone's emotion by what they say, and and how they say it. I mean, especially when you were on the podium talking about your brother, and
Yeah.
then your mom's, her voice crackling, being
Yeah.
sad. I mean, those things are very emotional moments that are captured with audio. Audio is really the key to capturing a good story. So yeah. But to answer your question back to what I was reflecting on when I got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
I had to come in with a realization that within myself, within the past 5-6 years of, and I'm sorry, John, if I keep bringing up,
Oh, it's
my
okay, dude.
grieving situation.
Oh,
Seems like to be the topic.
this is a safe space, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for me, I realized I was truly stuck, just really stuck. I just couldn't figure a way, and I knew I have to move forward, but I just couldn't. And when you're stuck on everything. And for me, I was stuck on my work. I think it was hard for me to even find the energy to even be enthusiastic about what I do, which is, film editing and filming. And I'll be honest, it held me back. It's just like, the sadness. I mean, it was even hard for me, and I have to do it because this is what I do for a living. Even, I'll give example. If I film a wedding, I'm okay filming it, but then to go and put it together and edit it's I don't know what it did to me, or what it does to me. It just reminds me of my own,
Yeah.
and I just like, man, I got to get out of this. How do I get out of this unstuck phase of wanting to get out of to move forward? I have to move forward. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was breaking my arm. I don't know what it gave me time to really snap out of it. And this is it. I really felt like this is, I got to move forward. There's nothing wrong moving forward, and it doesn't mean you're forgetting. I think that's the part I had a hard time with, is, the guilt that I'm forgetting, and I'm moving forward and being happy again. I think that's what it is wanting to be happy again. And it's important for me to be happy again in order to function again and to be an artist again.
Yeah.
And when I say artist, a film artist. So I think, and I'll be honest, that's the obstacle I've been dealing with for the past 5 years, trying to get through that. So that being said, I have to push forward and to be the best I can be. And we all should be. the best we can be and who we are.
Yeah. How long has it been now since Grace passed away?
She passed away in 2019, right before the pandemic. And the first 2 years was pretty rough. And I would say the last 3 years was still, a challenge.
Yeah.
It's one of those hard, and I think it's harder because, like I mentioned, you have all these reminders of that loss. Like I said, I have tons and tons of media footage of everything of my wife and that period of my life, being married to her and everything. And it's just, I don't go and look at it to get depressed, but it's there, Now, should I go, I think it's now more of a celebration to enjoy that memory. I think I've come to that point, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Man, I got to hand it to you, man. I mean, it really tests your versatility, for the last few years. And then having your kids, as a support system, I'm sure that was a big help for you mentally.
Yeah, it has been, and it hasn't been easy. There's challenges too. Definitely when you become a single parent, it doesn't. It's you got to raise two kids, and then you got to take over everything as a single father. You got to be mom and dad. So those are the things you got to learn to do by your, as a single parent.
Yeah. Wow.
But it is what it is. I mean, it's it's just, that's life. And again, that's the past. And like I said, you wake up every day and that's all you have. And I think I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to be happy again.
That's good, Dave.
And that's so important. That's the one element that was missing from me from being a good producer,
That's good, Dave. I'm proud of you, bro.
You can't function if you don't get your mind straight first. So yeah. But family's everything.
And question, Dave, when are you coming here to Illinois, man?
I want to get there as soon as I can. Maybe I would say the first quarter of next year.
Yeah,
would be good. I know it's going to be cold.
Maybe like in the late part of winter into early spring, maybe.
Yeah. I know winter drags into spring.
It's brutal in January. Don't go in January. It's brutal.
It's brutal. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I would love to come visit. I have so many memories being over there, growing up, and you can show me around and remind me, of how beautiful Chicago is, and Glenview, Illinois, from what I remember.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's shoot for late winter, spring, I would say.
Can't wait for you to probably be here in the studios with me.
Opportunity to capture some content and stories of Illinois. Yeah. I would love to see how it's changed too, Yeah. I think the last time I was there was back in I think the early 2000s. Maybe like 2002. I think it's the last time.
That was the last time when you went to high school? When you went to visit the high school?
No, the last time I came in, because I had to go there and do a couple things, projects, and I remember just being amazed about how Glenview has changed. But Chicago was still the same a little bit, but it was Glenview, Illinois was completely different. You wouldn't never know there was a Navy base there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's shoot for next year.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yep. So I'm excited about life again. And you're gonna have your bad days and good days and everything. How have you been? Like, I know you.
Yeah.
How's your process of the last time I saw you was your brother and everything you were dealing with that. How's that been going for you?
Dave, sometimes when I wake up each day, there's always like a random thought of my brother.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
could happen the moment I wake up, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe when I'm just eating my breakfast or eating my lunch. It just seems like I'm just thinking a whole lot. Like I wanted
Oh yeah.
life to slow down gradually and just have time to reflect,
Oh
to,
yeah,
to
yeah.
that's how I kind of like want to make time for him. Like he's still in my life. So I just try to not hurry myself. I've
Mm-hmm.
come to a point now where I'm even like, silent a little bit, not too silent, but just to a point where sometimes when I'm communicating with people, it's not as like super fast like I'm talking to you right now. But there are some instances where I kind of
Yeah.
like just push back a little bit in my conversation. I'm usually sometimes the initiator when it comes
Yeah.
to talking, but
Yeah.
mentally I'm like sometimes still dealing with it. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
there are some random moments, man, where I'm just like just thinking of him, and I just have some random
Yeah.
tears just coming out, coming down
Yeah.
my face.
Yeah. And that's normal. I mean, it just it wasn't too long ago. I mean, it just happened in
Yeah,
the summer. So, take your time. That's what I've learned. Everyone goes through this process of losing someone, and everyone has a different timeline, you
yeah,
know. So, and don't ever feel guilty. I felt guilty asking myself, like, why am I taking so long to
yeah,
get over this? And you'll never get over it. You're, like you said, you're going to have moments where something might trigger your,
yeah,
that loss, and it'll feel like it happened yesterday. But you'll get used to dealing with it and accepting it as time goes on. And just remember, your brother is always going to be in your heart.
yeah,
Use him as your inspiration. Um, you know that one, life goes on, but I'll use him as your motivation.
yeah.
And he sounded like a really great brother, just
Oh my
from what
goodness!
I've.
If you talk to him, my
Yeah.
goodness, he'll be talking to you for like maybe a whole hour. Like nonstop. I mean, right now I'm
Really?
talking to you with breaks here and there, but this
Yeah.
guy is so solid. He's so nonstop that he deserves his own podcast. Really,
Oh, really?
he's that kind of guy. He's so old school. He jots down notes. He has so much
Yeah.
retained in his brain that he'll talk about whatever's on his mind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he was that kind of guy.
Wow, that's exactly what I heard from everyone that talked on camera about him. So, yeah, keep that legacy alive, and probably and he's inside of you. He's part of his personality is within you too,
Yeah,
in a different way. And continue his legacy,
yeah. I'm
you know.
continuing that legacy now. Personally, with my younger brother,
Mhm. Mhm.
Jeff, I talk
Mhm.
to him like once a week. Like maybe like I'm chatting with him, on the video call on
Yeah.
a Thursday or a Friday. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to make it a regular habit on being there for him, making sure
Mhm.
that he's taken care of, making sure his week is going well, and the same thing he's doing, with me too.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You have your brother and you got your parents, and
Yeah,
I'm sure you've gotten a lot closer because of that loss. Um, and just one step forward, one day at a time.
yeah,
And then when you do get, when you feel sad, that's normal. That's part of your grieving process and acceptance. Um, there's nothing wrong crying.
Oh, I got to
You
tell you
have
this,
to
Dave.
cry.
I got to tell you, man. I
Yeah.
was I was parked in a
Yeah.
recreational park
Mhm.
in Naperville. So
Mhm.
I parked the Jeep over there, and I watched the video by myself. I watched the whole funeral video by
Mhm.
myself. And then it finally dawned on me, man. I finally had those tears coming down, and then I came to this restaurant, saw my really good friend Matthew, and he said, "Are you right, John?" And I'm like, I was, sobbing, looking at the funeral video. He understood.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it finally
it's okay.
came, it finally happened, it finally, came to me, and now I'm just learning to accept it and be able to move forward. I needed that. I needed to get that off my chest. So, and I did. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're doing good. It's they say there's stages of grief, that you have to go through. And I think I've been through all of them like twice or three times. You're perfectly normal. It's part of the human reaction, and the acceptance part is sometimes a challenge. And triggers, you can look at something and immediately it triggers. Like, like for me, I'll hear a song. I think I heard our first for me and my wife. I heard our first dance song on the radio, and boom, I was like sobbing. Like, man, why did that have to come on?
Wait a minute. What is this song?
Yeah. Or I remember avoiding, I remember driving down the road on Lynnhaven and just avoiding driving down that road because I would pass by the restaurant where we had our first date. And it's like, I can't go that way. I don't want to see that restaurant. And now I could drive by it and smile. Yeah. Say, oh, that's the place, where Red Lobster, where our first date was.
Oh, that's where it was, Red Lobster?
Yeah, right there at Lynnhaven. Okay. So before, I just didn't want to look at that building or pass by it because it would trigger, the reminder of what used to be. So, but now it's one of those things that I can smile and look at and say, I hope they don't knock that building down. It's a good reminder.
Oh, Dave, what was that song? If you don't mind me, if you don't mind me telling.
It was, if you don't mind, My Valentine.
My Valentine. Who sang it? Do you remember?
I forgot her. What is her name? I'm bad with names. Yeah.
Who knows? By the end of this episode, we'll probably know who it is by the end of this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, because our first date was on Valentine's, and we got married on Valentine's. So.
And it was featured on television.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, the going back to being stuck and not moving forward, I didn't know why I couldn't pull the trigger to being, because I know myself, I could be better than I am. I felt like I failed a lot within the 5 years career-wise because the grief was just a distraction, and it just didn't allow me to move forward. I just had to ask myself, what the heck is going on? It's like, I'm not myself, but I know I need to be myself. I need to provide for my kids too, and I need to be back to being happy again. And it's just like, I tried everything from, exercise help and getting away, running away from it, going to the Philippines a lot and traveling, kind of mask that loss. But at the end of the day, I would come home and it's just like, it's me and myself in a room, like, again, just not wanting to pull the trigger on being the best version of myself. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you just don't feel like moving. It was a debilitating type of feeling. So I would assume it's part depression, traumatic, experience.
Yeah.
It was a traumatic experience too. But it's just, time has to heal. So, whether it took 5 years or a little bit longer, I don't have any regrets, because I noticed in the grieving process, you're going to run into, I don't know if you've experienced it, you'll run into some friends or people who knew you, and they'll roll their eyes and say, hey, you're not over it yet. Like, I was already having that a year after.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay, you just, you don't get mad. I mean, I got mad at first, but you come to realize, like, well, you haven't experienced this. And, maybe one day you will and you'll understand, but it's not my job for you to understand. this is me and myself. So
Yeah.
no hatred or anger, just,
I guess I have to get ready, when that moment comes, especially maybe
Yeah.
this December when I encounter friends.
Yeah, it's and not to be negative, you're going to have people who are supportive, which
Yeah.
is great. Those are the ones that are good. And there's nothing that anyone can say or do to replace what you lost. But you're going to have from what I experienced, you're going to have people rolling their eyes or
Mm-hmm.
avoiding you in a
Yeah.
sense because of that situation. And it's okay because it's a hard topic to even bring up. Everyone's happy and they just don't want to be dragged down. And it's not that you're being a party pooper or anything. I guess it's best not to share it, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe keep it to yourself, I guess. But
Yeah.
just know who you can share it to.
If you don't
But
mind me
yeah, I've had a
asking,
few eyes roll back
yeah,
oh,
I'm sorry to distract you, but
yeah.
what is that right on top of the microwave? There's some quote or something behind you. What does that say?
Oh, quote. Oh, begin each day with a grateful heart.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, you got to wake up every morning and just really don't think about the things that could have happened or the things you've lost or the things that didn't happen the way they should have happened. Always look at the things that you are grateful for. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I think sometimes we're impatient in this world today, and it's like, man, I wish this would have happened. I wish I would have had this career. I wish I could have had a new car. There's some people who don't have a car or people who don't have a roof over their house.
Yeah.
You just got to be thankful for your health when you first wake up and thankful that you're breathing and that you can walk and get up and make breakfast. Those little things really, when you look at those things, it's not that bad. Your situation is not as bad as you think it is. I mean, your situation can be bad, but you can make it feel less of an importance if you
Yeah.
focus on, the good things.
I wish
And
I could.
that's helped me a little. That's helped me a lot. So
I wish I could speak, for the rest of the world. I know they're just going through so much, especially with the political climate that's been
Oh
happening
yeah.
in our country. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
no matter what side you're on, man, it's just taking the best out of everyone.
It is. And I'm not a political type person, and I try not to get into it with people. But I just
Yeah,
really, it's out of our control.
it is.
Sometimes you just gotta, again, sometimes news can really bring you down. But just
Yeah.
focus on what's going on in your life and the things you're
Mm-hmm.
thankful for, and that's it. And if you got your health, then you are good.
Yep.
Other than what the government's doing, man, you can't control what people do. It
Yep.
is what it is, and it'll eventually work out in some form or way. You do worry about have kids. You worry about your kids and wondering what their future is going to be like. But man, we can't control everything. This world is just there's just too many people. There's too many cooks in the kitchen controlling everything, and it's just like you can only control yourself
Yeah.
and what happens to
Totally
you.
agree.
And yeah. So yeah, it's hard. Our life here in America is not like what it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But
No.
but you just have to be like, man, okay. I mean, to me, it's like, man, why is groceries so high? Like, I spend $200 and this is all I get.
Hey, did you notice that the
Yeah,
products go up, right? And
yeah,
did you notice the size of these products start getting smaller, but then you're paying
yeah,
like an extra $2? Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Or you look back and it's like, man, I remember when this was a lot cheaper back in the
Yes.
day. I remember I used to be able to fill up my gas tank for $10. It's like, what the heck?
Man, I still remember when combo meals was $2.99 in
Yeah,
1994.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you can focus on doing good for yourself. And what I say here, we live in America. We have the greatest opportunity to be the best versions of ourselves, and we live in a free enterprise system. It's not perfect. I mean, you can live in the Philippines, you can live in other countries and be, have no control of what you want to do. But here in America, we really do have the greatest opportunity to prosper.
Yep.
And I myself, I'm not all about making lots of money and being a multimillionaire. I just think you want to get to the point where you create, some sort of great value that everyone's going to appreciate and be the best at it. And I think your prosperity or your income will chase you because of that thing that you have become good at.
Yeah.
And especially in this day and age where we live in social media and everything's on the computer, we can really reach the entire world with the click of a button. What do you have to offer? And I know this AI stuff is coming out, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have opinions about AI, but AI is a good thing. I think I'm going to gravitate towards using it to deal with the heavy lifting on the back end of post-production.
Okay.
I mean, there's just so many things you can do to create what you need to create without starting from ground zero. The one thing I know with AI that it can't do is that it can't tell stories.
No.
You can tell it what to do, but it can't really tell
you could mimic
a story
it
like a human can.
Yeah, it can mimic, but it definitely doesn't have the heart because we are the ones that are
yes, that comes
the
the authentic part of communicating or expressing yourself, whether it's through stories or through music. AI can't do that. That comes from you. That comes from and people can feel that. Now, the cool thing with AI is that it can get you close to a good starting point, and what I love, especially with filmmaking, I used to meticulously have to sit there and listen to everything that is being said on the video when it comes to talking heads. And this might be podcasts, might be the same thing. You have to sit there and watch and listen and transcribe it or whatever. But I think with AI, the great thing about it can detect, certain areas within your media where it feels that, hey, this is good stuff. And it guides you there and it directs you there. And then you can kind of reshape it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I forgot we were talking about that portion of this topic in the video or podcast, but it reminded you that this is a good area that should be posted or whatever. And then you can go in there and kind of twist it or add your little creativity to it. So it got you a good starting point. So, and then with B-roll, I mean, before, with video, I'd have to go through stock footage to find good B-roll. But I think now you can just type in something and say, hey, this is the vision I want. I want, a sunset with a
type
boat
it on the prompt.
Yeah. Type it, and then that's your B-roll. It'll make it for you. You didn't have to go out and film it, and you just add it to your narrative or your video.
Yeah.
And man, you have to kind of know the strengths of technology, what it can do for you. Now, yeah, it can, technology can make things a little bit less competitive because now everyone can get access to what you used to do for them. But you got to reinvent yourself, and the number one thing, like I said, I think AI is not going to tell a story as good as a producer. So I think producing, like you as a producer, podcast producer or a film producer, that's where you need to really hone your skills. So you stay relevant.
Yeah.
Regardless of how technology improves.
I'm writing like a 30 chapter story, and I've been using AI to present to me something visually, and it's exactly how I want it. Typing the thing on the prompt, and I say, I want this character to look like this. and it shows exactly the character,
Yeah.
how how he's supposed to look like, or she's supposed to look like. And it's been
And see,
helping
that
me
saved
out.
you time, right?
Yeah, and it's definitely motivating me to continue writing the story. 'Cause, when there's like the thing is presented in front of me, I start typing, oh, he was dressed up in this wardrobe. He looks very regal, Yeah. It's really helping me
does
out.
the grunt work. I see. I'm excited because I started getting back into researching how technology has improved, since I've taken a break. But man, this AI stuff is great because it does the grunt work. Because that stuff you used to have to do from scratch, and that's time consuming. Now you can really let it do things that that you had to start from scratch, and you can focus on what's most important is producing and crafting your story and putting your words together, whether you're writing a book or editing. It should be more of a tool to enhance what you're already good at, so
Yeah.
it allows you to focus on your the nitty gritty, the core of what you're doing. And whether you have to you don't have to design a cover of your book anymore. Maybe you can ask AI to help you with that. Or
now you got me thinking, because I only have 4 more chapters to go, man, and this is it. It's done. And then now I have to look for an artist. But I do have an artist in mind, and hopefully he can do the job. But if not, I'll try to rely on probably something you just mentioned there, AI. Or maybe someone that uses AI, or these companies like Fiverr. You can probably get an artist to do the job through Fiverr.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, you have to you got to delegate your stuff out. I think that's the only way to get things out, quickly in this day and age where things have to be done quickly. And again, that's the part I'm pursuing is using as much as I can the tools to help my productivity go skyrocket back to the way it used to be. Because I just was in a really bad slump of not getting things done quickly, because it's just, one, I had to overcome this sadness. And then second, it's just, be aware, be aware of what's out there. Stay relevant. That's the only way to stay relevant,
keep the fire alive within you.
You have to.
keep going.
Yeah. And then figure, as an entrepreneur, don't focus on chasing the money. Focus on being good at what you do, and then
the rest will come later. Yeah.
Yes. Create so much value that the opportunities are coming. I know it's hard. Sometimes you're feast and famine.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, man, is the lights are going to stay on or what? Or, how I can, but, continue pushing through with your skill set, and figure a niche, along the way, find that niche, and then, it'll all work out, and those opportunities will come, I feel like, not to be too religious, I feel like God is not done with me yet. And I know he's not done with you either, John. You got to believe it. Like I said, there are more days behind us, and there's still a lot more days in front of us too. So how you want to use those days you have left in your life, you gotta use it and do something big, because before you know it, it's just like, again, your mind is going to want to do, and your body is going to be like, I think it's time to rest.
Yeah. By the way, I want to thank you though, man. To sort of like, you got me going again, creatively. You got me sort of like inspired to get a gimbal and then the wireless mic. So, you did my brother's funeral, and then just looking at, these things, these accessories, and you talked to me about these. I said to myself, I might as well gonna have to go and get some. And I'm proud of you for opening this up to me, because I really don't know how I would be doing creatively right
Mm-hmm.
now if it wasn't for your, your input, your
Oh, thank
knowledge.
you. I mean, you came at the right time this summer to visit me. I was so glad you came by and hung out with me
Oh
for a good
yeah.
amount. I just really believe sharing or helping others succeed is
Yeah.
the key. Now, again, you have to deserve it too. You can't be trustworthy for everybody.
Yeah.
But I can sense anyone that if you're kind to me and I can feel your spirit,
Yeah.
I'm there for you to help you succeed. Your success is my success. And 20 years ago, I probably wouldn't give you the time or day to even let you know what exists out there. But you know what? It's not mine. I don't own what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to share it because if you succeed, then it makes me happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like
You
I'm
know,
glad you got the tools. The tools have always been the greatest thing I like.
yeah.
I love they're just paintbrushes though, but
Yeah.
the
It's
cameras,
like
the
a palette.
gimbals, the
Uh-huh.
tripods, anything that helps you capture the moment with
Yeah.
video or photography is the technology. It's like an addiction just to
I've
have those
I've learned
tools.
some of the techniques too, like when you're
Yeah.
filming, especially when
Mhm.
you're filming around my brother's funeral. I'm now
Mhm.
learning how to capture some of those important shots, like even if it's just an
Yeah.
object, you
Yeah.
know, then you want to do something else again,
Yeah.
and film another object or a person or whatever. And I see how important that is when you try to assemble it together, to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
to make it into one piece. And then for me to do like a video for a Filipino
Mhm.
business, just like I showed you,
Yeah.
I just realized how important those elements are as I'm trying to make like a minute video. And
It's yeah.
I'm just inspired through you because I would be so lost filming, and then just for you showing me what you filmed about my brother's funeral, made a
Oh,
huge difference. Yeah.
yeah. It's to me, it's pretty simple. It's almost like B-roll and A-roll.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like if you're going to interview someone at their business, like you do,
Yeah.
you film them first, and you have them talk about
Yeah.
what they're talking about, and then as you're filming them, you kind of keep a recollection of what they were talking about. So if they were talking about the wonderful cake that they make or the big kitchen that they have in their place, you're already building up a shot list in your brain
Yeah.
of what you're going to tape after you're done with that interview,
Yep.
because you're going to use that's the b-roll, that's the footage you're going to use on top of what when they're talking. So
You're trying to present
that's how I
something
like to film.
visually. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, in an instant, if something's simultaneously happening, like at your brother's funeral,
Mm-hmm.
the A roll was when you guys were talking up on the altar.
Yeah.
So usually, I would set up a camera on a tripod. I would frame where that podium is because that's where
Mm-hmm.
people are going to talk, and I wouldn't touch the camera. I would make sure everything's focused, hit record, and then my other camera is roaming, which I'm hand holding, and I'm getting B roll. And usually, the B roll is the audience, people's
Uh-huh.
expressions. So the my tripod is my other camera guy, and I don't touch that camera. It's recording. I make sure it's recording before I leave it, and then and of course I'll hand hold the footage of you
Yeah.
sitting there, and I'll change my variations and shots. I'll do wide shots, I'll do close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
um I'll go to the back of the room and film a wide shot from the back, and
Yeah.
then I'll move around and just get multiple shots, and I can stop and go my camera because I know the audio is continuous on that A-roll camera.
Yeah.
And in editing, you just take that footage and you can put the B-roll on top of the A-roll,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes the B-roll, it doesn't necessarily have to happen at the same time. Someone sitting is someone sitting. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean when you were talking, doesn't mean that B-roll was exactly during the time you were talking. It could have been at someone else talking. They would never know,
Yeah.
So, so it's A roll and B roll. That's basically what it is,
Mm-hmm.
In a documentary type thing. So,
Oh, to answer your one of your questions, Dave, how am I doing?
yeah.
Since my brother's
Mm-hmm.
passing, I've been actually getting back into doing, audio podcast, the Jonnyroobs minutes, in which I'll be talking about anything for the next couple of minutes. And so far it's been going, and I'm about to do my 7th episode soon. It's just good to go back to like the grassroots of my podcast where it was done originally on audio. And I know we haven't done any too much of these video podcasts lately.
Yeah.
I think I'm on
Yeah.
this is going to be episode number 4, I believe. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, things are taking shape again. The next episode is actually going to be I'll be interviewing. I'm sure you know him. He knows you already. Mark Rodriguez. So I'll be interviewing him, and yeah, it's an amazing story that he has to tell, and I can't wait to have him on. And yeah, he said hello, by the way. So
cool. I that's awesome. You're what I love about you, John, you're persistent. And you know what? You really opened my eyes when we came here to Virginia Beach, because I see you're constantly putting something out.
Yeah.
And I admire that, because I see how I used to be back in the day in you. Because I'm like, I used to put out things constantly, but I realized last month I was stuck, and it's like, what is going on? Something psychologically is not right. But I kept seeing myself in you, like, man, John is awesome. He's on a roll, it's podcast after podcast. And it's just like, that's how I want to be with video. It's not that I just want to put things out, but I just want to constantly put out things. I know it takes a lot of work, but it's just like, man, you inspire me. So I thank you for that. And thank you for reminding me that it can be that way. And yeah, you're awesome. And I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's continue inspiring each other. I can't wait to do many more of these with you, and maybe one time we'll see if we could get some special guest on this show. I remember.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I remember when we all had the fellas with us, when we did that thing 3 years ago. That was fun.
Yeah, and the craziest thing, when I saw some of the footage, and I think I even have a copy of it. That was like maybe it was just like a year after I lost my wife. I think I was really.
Oh yeah.
I think I was. If you watch it, it was just really. I think it was really hard to even show my face. But it was, that was a good time. That was a good time to talk.
Even despite what you were going through emotionally, I mean, it's just so it's so perfectly captured your enthusiasm as we're, just continue to conversate with the other two,
Yeah, exactly.
And then just showing just like pictures of myself, just pictures of the past. It's just, you just find it motivating just to look back at it and then to talk it over with people on a podcast.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of podcasting. It's audio, and it's merging with video too. We're doing video here. It capsulizes what you were going through at that time. Especially if the topic is something personal that you're going through, and then you look back on it and you realize, like, man, I've been through a lot. And I'm better now today than I was, 4 years ago. So, it's I don't know. I love it. It's part of storytelling. It's a story. The stories we talked about at that last podcast. So many years. How many years ago was that? Like 4 years ago?
That was 3 years ago.
3 years ago? Okay, gosh.
2000. I think it was 2022. I believe it was.
Oh my gosh.
I think so.
Wow.
No, I think it could have been 2021. Yeah, I had like a full beard right here, if I remembered. So.
Yeah, that's just. I think I'm gonna watch the whole thing again.
Yeah. I have to let me see if I can look at my phone for a moment. Sorry if I'm gonna provide a little bit of some dead space here as I'm doing a little bit of research.
Yeah,
I'm
take your
gonna
time.
take a look at as to when it was uploaded.
Yeah.
That's the key. The key is when was it uploaded? Okay, let me go all the way back here. Okay, that was 4 years ago.
4
So that
years
was
ago?
2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
Just like that.
That was one of those really rare episodes that I had, doing video, because for the most part my podcast was audio formatted, at that time. But
and you were just implementing video.
Yeah,
at
I was
that
just
time.
testing it out, and then
Oh my gosh.
using Zoom.
Using Zoom.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. That was. You got I think you had the 4 quadrants going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You figured it out. Yeah. Changing the subject, I just got back a day ago from Northern Virginia.
Okay.
And I was there, actually I was there on, the week's over, not a day ago. I was there Sunday. So I was there for the Filipino Association, FACC, Filipino Association Cancer Care.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there, and they always have these big fundraising events, and they have models on the runway to wear the top fashion from the fashion designers from the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
But basically, people will pay a certain amount of money to go to this fundraising and raise money for 16, I think this year was 16 recipients for people dealing with cancer.
Okay.
So we were able to raise money for those 16 people who are dealing with cancer. And for me, it was a great thing. I've been there for 5 years. And it was an opportunity for me to help, and it's opportunity for me to feel like I can heal in that process to help others that are dealing with cancer, and to use my skills as a filmmaker to document it. So I went there and met a good amount of people. I think there was a lot of people that was there. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
I thought that was also a good way for you to honor Grace, to still use her as an inspiration.
Yeah, it was, I couldn't, it was one of those things where to honor her, and also for me to understand, especially with cancer, that it's I can relate to it. I didn't have it personally, but I felt like I did by losing my wife.
Yeah.
It affected me. It affected the kids. Going through that process of dealing with it, and of course, at the end we didn't win the battle. Dealing with it, but at the same time, this is opportunity for me to help others who are dealing with it in the current moment. So I feel like I can continue to fight it. But yes, to honor Grace at the same time.
Yeah.
I know she would be happy for me to be doing that. So, a humbling experience, I would say.
Yeah.
It's just, I can empathize, because I understand, so.
When the event was over, did it really left you smiling at the end?
It always does. I mean, it's a great thing. I get to I get to go around and interview people on camera, and this time I was able to go and film and get footage and interview people, and they're actually going to use the footage. It's going to go to the Philippines. I guess there's a network there called GMA.
Oh yeah, GMA.
So they're going to use the footage, and it's going to be broadcast in the Philippines.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's cool to be like, hey, I filmed that. It's aired in the Philippines. So
do you think they aired it right now?
I just uploaded the footage today, and I think it should be airing pretty soon. The news, they wanted the,
I think we have GMA here, so
yeah. So whatever they use, with the footage I captured, It's
They should put like a courtesy of Dave Alegre, a little tiny print right there on the
I think they're going
screen.
to. That's what they
Yeah.
told me.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be cool, you know. So these little things do help out, you know. You feel
Yeah.
like you have a purpose. You take lemonade. They say you take lemonade and you take lemons in your life. You take lemons in your life, and those lemons are the things that you go through, the hardship and the pain,
Yeah.
and you turn it into lemonade. So sometimes the pain that you go through can be something that can turn sweet for others. Sometimes your pain is other people's gain. You sometimes have to share your life experiences to encourage others. Not to say, look at me, what happened to me, and all the stuff that I had to go through, but there's a period of time that you can share your life experiences that you've gone through to encourage others who might be going through it, and letting them know that you can get through it, and there's always a rainbow at the end of any situation. So yeah. So sometimes,
how old are you presently, Dave?
I just I turned 55 in June.
Oh, okay. So 55 and 51. Well, here we are, Dave.
Yeah.
We're still going, man. We're still going.
You have to.
Yeah.
You got to. I feel 55, but I'm trying to stay where I don't look 55. Try to,
Everybody that's come across these videos, especially when they see you, they're like, he does not look his age. And that's good. You're young at heart too, man. You're young at heart.
You got to. I think try to manage your stress is probably one of it. One of the things. Just have a good outlook.
Have you gotten better at managing stress as you've gotten older?
I mean, there have been times I haven't. I would say the most stressful part of my life was 2019 when I had to go through that traumatic stage of dealing with taking care of my wife.
Yeah.
Because I saw a picture of myself in 2018, and then at the end of 2019, I'm like, what happened? It's just like it does affect your stress can affect your exterior. So if you can manage your stress, I think that might be the culprit of reducing your aging.
Yeah.
So stress management, that deals with do things that you love to do. Take time to exercise, or at least take a walk. I try to take a walk every day if possible, especially if things get a little bit tense. Some sort of activity,
Yeah, I need to start doing that.
Walk with your gimbal. Those are the things that make you happy and reduces stress.
And be careful walking with your gimbal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That too. Don't walk backwards and fall in a pit. That'll create stress.
I'm going to keep referring to that video where I was going to that, third level structure, the wooden structure in the park.
I know. That was like, oh my gosh, be careful.
I was really like looking down as I just still had the thing going, and I'm just like making sure I wasn't going to fall.
Yeah. I don't take walking up a step or walking down the steps for granted now. I'm like, I remember like, be careful, climbing a tree. I remember, I used to be like a monkey. I climb up a tree and swing on branches and stuff. Now I'm just like, man, be careful. Just one little fall can
change everything.
Change your life, So be careful when you're out there filming.
Oh, definitely, man.
Because sometimes, again, you're focusing on the screen. You're not looking around you.
Yeah.
You're just literally, especially if you're using a gimbal, if you're walking backwards, doing certain shots. So just look behind you where you're going, or have
maybe it's good to maybe have a spotter like a little bit, nearby,
You see it on concerts, those camera guys on stage.
Yeah.
There's a spotter behind them.
Yeah.
Because, man, you could fall off that stage.
Oh, yeah. And some of these performers do fall down, too.
Yeah, that, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. But, yeah, I just have this little compression. It's still swollen. Physical therapy has helped. the other day I couldn't reach my my collar because I couldn't tie
Oh,
my tie.
wow.
I was like,
Okay.
man, I can't even reach, and now I can.
Oh, that's good.
After a couple of days of physical therapy, and I can't stretch my arm completely, but I think eventually I'll get there.
Is that the only thing? Is that the only reminder you have left? Is this thing that
Yeah,
that
the
it?
compression.
You don't have anything else on you besides that?
Long scar on my elbow.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I went on YouTube the other day to see how they do the procedure, and I'm like, oh my God, that is crazy. Like cutting open your arm. It just looks, ugh, I better turn this off. It's not good. But yeah, them drilling and cutting and everything.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, why did I watch that? Curiosity. Like, what do they do?
I can deal with Terminator 2, but I cannot deal with real life now.
Yeah. So that's the crazy thing. We have access to seeing anything we want on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to Google it. I had to YouTube it and see. And I was like, man, is that what they did for 2.5 hours? Like, yeah.
Oh man, we're having a wonderful episode here, guys. By the way, apologies again for not making too much of these episodes right now this season, but I got a whole year so I can make up for it. And of course I got my audio podcast at Jonnyroobs Minutes, so I'm still active creatively. It's just a little bit slow right now, but
yeah.
See, I got Dave on, and then the next guest I have is Mark Rodriguez, and then another guest is coming up after him. So yeah, things are rolling, guys. Okay, back to you.
Yeah, you tell him I said hi too, and I think I've seen a couple of his posts of the stuff he's been going through.
Yeah.
Not only personally, but I think with his wife also. But it's just
yeah.
I can empathize for anyone that that goes through challenges like that, and you got to stay humble these days. You think for me, I felt I was on top of the world, with everything, and then stuff like this hits you and you realize you're no better than the next person next to you. So I think that really changed my life, was, going through life challenges with, losing my wife and realizing, man, you're just no better than the next person. So I think that changed my perspective and has given me a different heart for anybody, in need. So yeah. Life changing 2019 for me was a really turning point. So yeah.
It's good that you're doing things creatively, but also at the same time it's letting you, think about other things happening in your life too. So
yeah. So I'm ready to really get it back out there. I disconnected from social media since it's almost been a year.
Yeah, you haven't been on Facebook in
I cut it. I think it was. I think it was kind of one. It was a distraction, and then two, it was kind of adding a little bit of a depression for me. So I said, let me take a little break from it, and I've been off of it for almost the whole year. Wow. So I'm gonna get back on. It's one of those things I need to get back onto because I need that outlet for my work. Other than that, I'm this year's almost over. I can't believe we're ending almost, the year 2025.
Just like that. Yeah.
Just like that. It's just like, 2 more months, 3 more months. And, I'm looking forward to the future, 2026.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Let's do some big things.
Let's meet. Yeah.
Some good things that's going to fulfill us,
Yeah.
Fulfill you personally and allow you to make a difference in someone else's life.
You know what? Speaking of that, since you're on here, and then I got a couple of guests lined up. Maybe we could sort of like everyone form a community, and somehow I could somehow get guests coming back here and there, and then they're talking with you. Yeah, that'd be great, just for everyone to just share their thoughts on anything, and we're gonna be there, whatever topics that come, that we're receptive. We'll be there. You'll be there. I'll be there. Sort of like we're all gonna be just one big community, and that's what I want to put on this podcast, is that with all that crazy things happening right now, I just want to bring some sort of togetherness. Something that something we can all root for, something that we all can stand by.
Definitely. I think positivity, encouragement.
Right.
We're all of us are going through something. No matter what, and if anything, we just encourage each other. Yeah. That's really what it's about. And if you're willing to share what you're going through, sometimes it's not good to share everything, but if there's something you can share that we can either encourage you, that would be a great thing. Sometimes the stuff you go through encourages us too. Yeah. You're not alone. We're not alone. We're on the same boat.
I have a question, Dave. Have you heard of this app called Swell?
No.
No, you never heard of Swell?
No.
It's sort of like a social community, but you're dealing with voices. Rather than chatting with instant messages, no, you're leaving a message up to 5 minutes, and then the person, whoever hears you, will start a thread after you, a voice thread, and then they're going to give their input. And I was hoping, I'm going to try to ask some of the people that I have talked to about what they've said about my my remarks or whatever, and some of these, or most of these, were very useful. And I was hoping that maybe I could ask some of these people that were responding if I could use them for my audio podcast, like bits of it for my audio podcast. So I'm going to try to see if I could get that. And it's really cool, man, if you get to hear it, one day. But I kind of want to reflect that on my podcast, the willingness to help, to be for anyone to have an open mind, and then for us to just share our thoughts, and maybe that can make a big difference for that person.
Oh yeah. I think I've heard of something like that where you can talk, and then there's someone out
Clubhouse. There. Yeah, Clubhouse was the most popular one.
Oh, okay.
But Swell is like maybe the next to it. Yeah.
Next to it. Okay, that'll be great. I'm gonna check that out.
I'm gonna share you
one part of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna share you. I'm gonna give you a link to one of those responses, and then tell me what you think. And I've been a member of that thing for maybe three years, I think now. And it's weird. Like, sometimes I make something and I don't hear anything from anyone, and then I log back in. I'm like, whoa, this person left me something last year. So
gosh.
So I had to make a message saying, oh, I just logged in.
And they think you were ignoring them.
Yeah, I just told them that I barely log into this thing.
Yeah.
So
that's
really cool.
I can assume that would be a great platform to connect with others who can relate.
And maybe I could have them on the show.
Yeah, definitely. That can be a connection of a guest.
Yeah, I mean, even regardless if if they appear on video or not, it would be nice to just to hear feedback.
Yeah. Wow, I think that would be a great thing to do. Yeah,
that's
so it's called Swell.
Yeah. This is one of the things I really want to accomplish for this podcast, on top of the book that I'm writing. So I got high expectations right now, my friend.
That's awesome. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people. I learned that, and motivated people, because you it helps motivate you too. Yeah. And
every bit helps.
It does. So you don't feel alone. Yeah. Well, I want to share something. I'm going to be very transparent. I have failed the past 5 years. I think with my work, and I just want to apologize to those that I might have affected. With my shortcomings. It's just not me. I have no excuse other than it's one of those things where At least for me, I'm kind of aware of it, but I didn't know what was triggering it, other than its bottom line is it was depression. It could be depression, it could be the grief, it could be whatever, but I knew in my mind that I have to snap out of it. And it's a long process, and I don't have any excuses. Now, I'm probably being too hard on myself too, because I have high expectations on myself. That's a perfectionist mentality.
Yeah.
So I know when I'm not one, I know myself. So maybe, I just didn't give 100% of my capabilities to those who relied on me a lot, and I just want to apologize. And I want to commit to being, again, the best I will be in the future. I just have to get through that process. And I know I'm near it. It's just one of those things,
Yeah.
So I admit to it. I admit to my mistakes. It's just like, you have to get your mind straight first before you can, as an artist too, especially if you're an artist.
Yeah.
Before you can perform, if you're not feeling good or whatever, something's stopping you psychologically, and you're an artist, it's going to affect you, So I don't know.
Maybe it's best to take a step back until you're really, mentally prepared. But it's good to take, the breaks, when you need it.
It is. I think
to heal.
2025 has been a breakthrough year for me. Completely. I'll be honest. I've never been more, I would say I've been myself more than ever. I would say the 5-6 years has just been a hardship. It's been hard, and I'm not going to explain why. It's just, maybe one day I can share that through, certain document. I filmed certain times.
Yeah.
That is just, I mean, imagine I can't explain why, but it's 2025 has been a breakthrough year for me, really. And it's just, I'm excited to be back again,
Yeah.
just really.
Glad you're back.
And I think you were part of that. I think you really came by at the right time. Timing is everything. I know God's timing is perfect. You came by here this summer, and it was just like, man, I didn't hang out with another creative person in a long time. You hung out here in the RV, and we chilled out for a while, and then I think, of course, me breaking my arm made me open up my eyes again, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I got some things I need to change in my life. So I'm back. I have to be back. I have no other choice,
Yeah.
Life is flying by so quick. And of course my parents are getting a lot older. My dad, he actually had surgery during the same time I did. And he's at home now. Luckily he's just down the street. They just live down the street. But that too, that just watching my parents get older and stuff. So
Yeah.
puts things in perspective.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's doing okay now, right?
Yeah, my dad's doing good. He's recovering. Okay. So yeah, that's another story to talk about. But yeah, when you see your parents and they're a lot older, you realize that I mentioned, God, I'm only 30 years behind them, and 30 years can go by that quick. It's like, man, that's around the corner. I'm going to be where they're at 30 years from now.
Man, speaking of vets like your dad and my dad, I wish that documentary would have got off the ground, just talking with all these veterans that came here many years ago trying to start a life, man. That would have been one amazing documentary. It would have been.
And it still can be. I think there's it's not
I know we don't have that many of them left, but
no, and you can see it. I mean, as far as they're first generation Filipinos. We're second generation, and I've been I was at the Filipino event recently. Was at the Phil Fest, and I'm like, man, it's a little bit different now. I mean, it's more commercialized in everything.
Way too commercialized.
Yeah, it's not like back in the day. Everyone had potluck,
especially with the the Phil and Friendship Day, man.
Oh yeah, it's a different, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the time of
I got footage of that too, man. It's like part of the 13 VHS tapes that I have. They're like in 2 videotapes. The way it was just different. I mean, it seemed to be more like a lot of us. This was like a must-see event, and it was like just a lot of Filipinos congregating. Now it's like commercialized, and you don't see that much, honestly.
Yeah, it's a different generation.
Down. Yeah, it's watered down now.
Yeah, it's different, and not like back in the day. You just walking around, and you can go to one booth and eat and hang out with aunties and uncles, and then it's just different, and it's just a different vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, like, man, is our culture going to get so watered down that the next generation's not going to know why they're Filipino, and I think it's hopefully the story of our fathers, our dads being in the service, coming here from the Philippines, to do what they had to do, because they had to go through that hard process of joining the U.S. Navy. I think my dad mentioned there were long lines to just get accepted, and if you made the cut, you made it, or if not, you didn't. You're stuck in the Philippines. But my dad did what he had to do. He passed. They did physical tests and all these things, and I think there's a backstory to tell what they had to do to get here.
Yeah.
And if they didn't do that, we would not be here talking today. They really sacrificed a lot. And then our moms had to deal with that too, because, as our dads, I don't remember your dad being gone for months, and our moms had to take care of us, while we stayed with the kids here in Hampton Roads. And I remember going to the shipyard or NOB to go pick up our dad. And I'm like, who's that? That's dad, he was gone for a while. So I think there's a story to be told, and it needs to be told soon before that generation is gone.
I might be thinking about interviewing my dad and just trying to capture him on video, because who knows? It should be used one day.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think maybe I need to find out where they congregate. I think there's I think I'm going to ask one of my uncles. He said there was a...
What was that? The American Legion building? No, you may never know where you can find them,
Yeah, they said there's a
maybe where they
association.
Where they play bingo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's really we can go there and try to get some narratives or stories from this generation before they're gone.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then getting all that stuff for B-roll.
Exactly.
When
I
they're
think
talking. Yeah.
I think we just have to film. Just go out there, and if you see an uncle, get that story. Go film your dad. I think I'm going to go film my dad.
Yeah,
that's
especially
an idea.
If they're wearing any Navy ball caps as they're walking.
Yep. Yep. They got some wealth of stories to tell. You never know. They might say the right thing that might make the cut,
Yeah.
So I think that generation needs to be captured on film.
Oh, this is perfect now, because I got the wireless mic. I might as well make use of it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's more easier than ever in today. Before I'd have to carry a heavy camera and run a wire through their shirt and mic them real quick. Now you just pin them in 2 seconds and you're on. You're good to go. Your phone can do it. I mean, your phone and a gimbal, that's all you need, and your sound. And pick people's brains. There's something powerful, getting stories from people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of technology today. It's so much more convenient than it was a couple of years ago. Take out your phone and start recording, and then your audio is...
Did I send you that Filipino food truck video?
I think you did.
Yeah, it's a combination of the drone and the gimbal. So if you're watching it, you're like, yeah, that's a drone, and then the rest of it's all gimbal.
Yeah, I mean, those are the tools that's all you need.
Yeah.
It keeps steadiness, right?
Yeah.
And if you're run and gun, if it keeps everything solid and cinematic too. I mean, you can film, there's just, I mean, I just love the tools today,
Yeah, me
that
too.
gimbal that my first gimbal was back in 1990 or 91 or 90, probably 92. I had the glide. It's called a glide cam. They were one of the first. So it basically was like a stick with weights on the bottom, and then you put your camcorder on the top, and you had to balance it. It took a long time to balance, but the thing was heavy. Your forearms started to hurt. But yeah, that was my first stabilizer that I ever used.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
glide cam, yeah. So the glide cam was designed by the guy who designed the steady. I think he designed the Steadicam for Rocky.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because they were one of the first to use. From what I heard, they're one of the first to use that technology.
Yeah.
When Rocky's running up the stairs in Philadelphia, and then they do the 360 around him. Yeah, that was pretty innovative. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he designed. No, GlideCam's a different company. I also bought the Steadicam. I owned a Steadicam from the Steadicam company, but GlideCam is a third party company, and they made it for the consumer camcorders. But yeah, I had that thing. I think I spent like $500 on that thing back in the day. And that thing was like, people were just like, how did you make your shots so steady, like it's on a track?
Yeah.
But today, I mean,
it's like its own stabilizer.
Yeah. People are just blown away by how smooth it was. But I mean, today, all you need is a gimbal and a phone. And you just get these amazing results. So there's no excuse to capturing good footage today. It's how you, it's what you create and produce.
Yeah.
That's something that technology is not going to mimic.
Yeah. The cool part, it starts right here. What you visualize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's where it starts.
It's not the cameras and the equipment anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody has
those
that.
are just tools.
They're just tools.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an excuse. I think it's how you use it.
Yep.
Is what's going to make a big difference. So, yeah, and your story. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh. But hey, John, it's so nice talking to you.
Hey, you too, man. This is so
I actually got a
awesome.
jet in about 5 minutes. I got to go pick up someone.
Oh yeah.
Get in the car.
Oh,
and
the same thing, right? The same thing when I was over there. You had to pick up someone, right?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Yeah. 10 o'clock.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely nice talking to you, man. I can't wait to for you to see the playback of this and see the amazing technology what this can do.
Yeah, and I'm learning to be a better listener this time.
Oh, you are. You're good, Dave. You're good. At least you're aware of that,
I think our last podcast. Yeah.
My brother Jason was not really a good listener, to be honest. I'm sorry to say
really?
that to you,
He's a
Jason.
talker?
I'm sorry, Jay, but you just weren't a good listener. He just kept talking. He just kept rambling, but he didn't want to hear our perspective. That's the only problem that he wasn't good at. He did not know when to stop, and he just kept talking about stuff that he wants to talk about.
Yeah, he probably had a lot of knowledge.
Oh yeah, too much.
Yeah,
way too much. Over capacity.
Yeah, I think for me, especially when I went out and filmed the other day, I'm learning to take time to listen.
Yeah,
because that helps me. Because you're right. It's easy to offload what you feel, and but I think it's good to be a good listener. You have to balance that out. So I'm learning too. And you always have great things to share also, John.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I love your background. Look at that. You got
I know, right? After how many episodes? Look at this.
That is so cool. I love your 20 Block Podcast Lite.
Oh, thank you.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I got that earlier in the year. I can't even believe it's here.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So we definitely came a long way here. So
of course you did. Yeah. And you know what? I've learned is not to be a perfectionist. Nothing has to be like today. I was trying to set up everything, make the background purple and stuff.
Oh, that's
but
beautiful.
I caught myself trying to overdo it. I said, you know what? Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
That's good enough. One light in here.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're starting something, you don't have to overthink. Just do what you have to do, and everything will fall in place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just, sometimes you feel like you need to have everything in place in the beginning, but you don't,
Yeah.
Sometimes in the beginning you're going to look stupid, but you're at least you're doing, right?
Yep.
Denzel Washington said, I don't know his exact quote, but he says, you're going to look stupid and dumb at what you're doing, but eventually your day's going to come, which is true.
I heard something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know the exact quote, but he really put things in perspective, because sometimes if you overthink, you're not going to even try, because you feel like the perfect day has to come when everything is all aligned in the right place.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily true. Just try, just do it. Like my old mentality is thinking like, okay, I can't interview uncles until I get the right camera or the right gimbal or the right time. No, if it's there and it's go, because tomorrow you might not have that opportunity.
Oh, speaking of the moment, have you heard of Chicago Henge?
No.
Where the light goes in the same path of the street. And you get this kind of effect, like where the sunlight is beaming and it's also going towards the building. It's captured so beautifully. It only happens like certain times of the year.
Yeah. I saw that on YouTube.
It is so beautiful, man.
Is that the sunset?
Yeah.
I saw one where the guy had a long monopod or something.
Oh.
And he was able to get the best shot, and people are looking at him. What is he doing? It was like a 20-foot monopod with his camera on the top, and he got the perfect shot.
Wow.
And people thought he was crazy, but it's in New York, right?
Chicago.
Chicago. Oh, they have one in Chicago too. Yeah, I think New York has one.
Yeah, they called it the Chicago Henge, like Stonehenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, look it up on Google, and you'll see all these amazing images of Chicago Henge.
Oh, wow. Okay, Chicago Henge. I'll have to see that when I visit you.
Yeah. Now, that would be amazing if we actually show up on the day that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they have one in New York. I think it's a sunset or sunrise, and it hits between the buildings perfectly at a certain time. There's only a split second you can get it.
Yeah.
And photographers are always waiting.
Right.
Yep.
That's it. Just like Chicago.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys.
Hey,
thank
John,
you very much.
Go.
Yeah, thank you guys watching. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.
I hope this wasn't too long. We hit 2 hours.
It was worth it. We haven't had an episode in a while.
Oh, okay, because I know less is more.
Yep. All right, guys, you all take care.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Oh, you're welcome, Dave.
Okay, and we'll do another future one.
Yep.
Okay, take care.
All right, you too, bro.
Okay, bye-bye.
Right. Bye.
Thanks for checking out this episode of 2400 Block Podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.